Hello you guys, it's Wayne from 101 Animation, and today we're gonna talk about the principle of charts slowing in and slowing out. So let's get started here and I'll explain it in depth to you. And I'm gonna show you the basic charts. So here is a standard chart right here. Let me get it set up first. There and there. Okay, let's say we got drawing 1 and we're coming down to drawing, we'll just say 11. Okay, this one here is going to be a slow out chart. So I'm going to put in a dash here, there, and there. So we look at this chart, and what that chart is, I want you to know, it is a slow out chart. And what I want you to notice is I got these dashes on this chart that is indicating a slow out. But then we come over here, and we're going to call this drawing 11, and we'll create what is known as a slow in chart. But what I want you to notice more than anything is that we got these dashes here, and let's just number these real quickly. This is 9, set this all on 2s, 5, 3, and then we're going to come to 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. Okay, we look at these two charts, this one being a slow in, right there. And we look at these and we got the dashes, and it is roughly indicating that it's a slow out and a slow in. To make it perfectly clear, I put in loops. And a lot of animators do. I didn't invent this. These loops are indicating precisely where the drawing and the spacing is going to be placed. Same thing with this one. That loop there, this loop here, inside, inside. Now, how do we know that this drawing 9 is directly in between? Because this loop starts at the top of the chart, which is drawing 1, and it comes right in to the middle, and the loop continues down there. How do we know that 7 is directly in between 1 and 9? Again, this loop comes in there, and then it comes right in there. And the loops are letting us know the placement and the spacing of the drawing. It's the exact same thing, except we're going in the opposite direction on the slow out chart. The loop for 13 comes directly in the middle and then comes down to 21, and so on with 15, 17, and then 19. Then we got what is known as a consistent movement. And what that means is you got a dash here, you got a dash there. Now if you notice here, I really didn't put them perfectly directly through the center line, the dashes. But how do I know that 21, 23, 25, and 27, how do I know that it's going to be a consistent movement? Is again because the loops let us know. They are the roadmap. They are the indication for you as the animator. It's notes for yourself, because animation has a lot of stuff going in during the process of it, and sometimes you just want to, I'll write notes on my drawings because I want to remember what I was doing in that particular drawing. So getting back to the even chart right there, the loop is letting me know, and what that means is the movement. I'll just make a ball here, a ball there. What that means is The ball is consistently moving. It's not slowing in or slowing out. So, with this in mind, this is what to remember. This is your basic charts. And for beginners, I say it's a good way to start off, just to get familiar with charts, with putting them down and putting down the loops and indicating the spacing. Now, if you go to a more sophisticated chart, and it's basically the same rule, but what you want to do is, and we're going to go 11 again here and then 1 here. And let's say if we want to get more snap into our animation, something that will just make it more, I don't know if the word is cartoony, just more texture within your timing. Let's just put 1 in the middle just to keep it simple. And we know that because of the loop, that's where that's going to fall. But then we put 1 here that's in the middle. But we don't want it to be as evenly timed. We want it to have a little bit more snap. So then I'm going to put in a dash there and make that 7 a dash here. And I'm going to leave that blank and 1 up there. And I'll make that 5. And then another one, I can make it 3. But the thing I want you to notice here more than anything else is I put in a loop here for 7, and then I put in a loop for this blank dash right in there. 5 is favoring number 1, and 3 is directly in between 5 and 1. But the point is right there, number 7, it is favoring up to number 1. And what that does is it starts the character in motion, going from one key pose into the next key or breakdown. It starts the movement, but then you'll get more snap into it. I'm going to explain this when I show you the pencil tests I have of Rascal. And then it just snaps into 11. So now we'll go 11 here. And let's say we just create something here. We'll just go 15. We'll make this real clear. So I put in a dash there, and it comes right there. There's our loop. It's like, let me bring that down. It is showing that it's halfway in between. Then I put a dash here, and then I put 1 here. Put the loop there. That's indicating this would be the dash, but 13 right there. It is now favoring drawing 15, and that just gives it that snap you want into it. Just gives it a different texture and timing. Now these are a little bit more complicated when you're doing a drawing. I'm just going to use the balls again, and even though there isn't a drawing directly in between, here's drawing 11 and here's drawing 15. Drawing 13 is going to be way over here. That's drawing 13 right there. And that is how, if you watch animation and it doesn't look floaty and seems to have more snap into it, that is how it's done. It's just the placement of your drawings. And you can do this to extremes. If you're looking at a Tex Avery cartoon, I don't know if you guys know who Tex Avery is, but he was the master of doing the very snappy, cartoony type of stuff. He would have charts that would be, let's say we're going 15 here, and then we're going to 19 there. And because it's a fast action, this is a side note, do remember very fast actions are usually done, they are done on ones if you want to do quality animation. Then your normal to slow actions are done on 2s. But it doesn't matter as far as the spacing goes. So let's say that we're going to put this on 1s right here, this chart right there, which means we're going to put in 16, 17, and 18. He would have a chart, or they would have a chart, the animators would have a chart. Let's say that's halfway, and then we got a chart here, which is halfway between those two, and then he would even take it to the point where 16 would be up there, 17, 18, and that would be there, and then he would even favor 18, 16, and 18, 17, 16 way up close to drawing 15 right there. So what that does is you got, again, let's say it's a ball here, ends up here. There is drawing 16, 17, 18, and then boom, it just hits right down in there. And as far as stretch and squash, that's up to you. We're only talking about charts and slow in and slow out. So the slow in and slow out, the principle is still basically the same. It's just exaggerated more. You could even do one, if you wanted to do one like this. If you really want to get snap into it, we got this one, this one, this one, this one, and then we'll say 16 is way up there, and we'll call this 17. And it works. We got all these loops. That's something I do. It just makes it perfectly clear. And what that would look like is 15, 16, 17. Now, of course, if you wanted to, side note, you could put a blur drawing in there, which is usually done for movements like that. But you can have charts that are this extreme. This is where you are favoring drawings, and you put them on third. It matters what you want to do as far as the spacing goes. So now that we're getting an understanding, let me go back here. Here are the even charts. Here is the charts that are showing charts that favor the drawing you out or into. That's these type of charts. So remember that. That's how you get more snap into your animation. Let's take another look at Rascal here. Here's the pose test. Now we're going to look at Rascal and just notice how everything is very fluid, but it's very even in its timing. Now we'll take a look at this chart right there. This is a classic slow out chart. So we're working from 1 to 15, which is this drawing. 1 to 15. And then I put in a direct in between, which is 13. Loops show it. 11, 9, 7. Drawing 1 is going to be held for 6 frames. So then we got it, and this is a classic slow out into this one, and here is a classic moment of when you use consistent movement, because he's slowing out from this one comes in here, but I want to keep the momentum consistent as he's coming up. So there we can see 16, 17, and the loops tell us consistent movement, coming up, 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 and now he's working into 19. So then what I did here, I should have put this in here, from there to there. 21 is directly in the middle, and then 20 is a consistent movement from 19 to 21, and all that means is that is directly in between 19 and 21. And then to make it perfectly clear, I put another chart on 20 to 31. You look at this chart, I hope you can see here, that is a slow in chart. Right there, you can tell by the placement of the dashes and, more important, the loops that I put in. So now there's 21, 23, 5, 7, 9, 31. And what I'll do here is I'm going to put on the onion skin so you can see